Hey YouTube, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and I am back with another Walking Dead reaction video. We are now on season 7, episode 14, hard to believe already, which is The Other Side. So last week we had, it was Morgan's episode was last week. We got to see what was going on with the kingdom, and basically that Richard was getting a little tired of waiting for things to inevitably go wrong, for the kingdom to realize that they needed to join this fight with Rick and the other groups to stop the Saviors and their whole reign of terror. But things didn't quite go the way that Richard really anticipated that they would. And we lost a couple of people from the kingdom, but the end result is that, yes, now Ezekiel is aware of the fact that this status quo that he has with the Saviors is not going to be permanent, and that he's going to have to do something to make sure that the long-term safety of his people continues. So it was a really good episode in my opinion. I really love Lenny James, as I gushed about in the last video, and I think he just nailed everything. Without further ado, why don't we jump into this episode and we will talk after. Boop.
I always found it hard getting close to anyone. Neighbors, friends, boyfriends.
Got some tea. Nice try.
You can have the bullets. Didn't know you had a gun.
Did you really think Jesus wouldn't know, Sasha?
I do now.
Rosita didn't come here to train people.
Nope.
We're both going after Negan. You can't do that without people. A lot of people.
This is what everyone keeps telling them.
Alright, get in. It goes to the other side. We gotta get out before Maggie does.
What? When did this get here? Why are there so many of them? Like, so many of them.
You have a certain somebody that now needs to be Negan's certain somebody, so what you can do for me is point me in their direction.
So who is it?
You get your pointy finger up and I'll tell you.
There's no way that they could know Daryl's there.
Like it? I made it. Car's dead.
Awkward. Yeah. That's what happens when y'all mess with the same guy. Things get messy. They both walk like such divas. Apocalypse does not affect my
Where'd you
strength.
learn to disarm bombs?
If we shoot from a distance and miss, we don't get another chance.
I won't miss.
Even if you shoot and graze him, he doesn't die.
I won't miss. If
Right.
we go in and get caught.
I won't get caught.
Sasha's a sharpshooter.
What's wrong with you? Maybe you'll change your mind about what it takes to get what you want.
I just want to smack Rosita upside the head. Like, oh, she's so frustrated right now. Uh-oh.
Hi.
Please don't do anything stupid, Daryl. Please don't do anything stupid, Daryl. Please don't do anything stupid.
Dr. Harlan Carson, correct?
Oh,
Probably. It's been a few years, but
I
I'm
forgot. I forgot about the other Dr. Carson dying.
As much medicine as we
Thank you,
could
by the way,
spare
the
last
comments are
time
telling
we
me
were here.
that this was his
Yes,
brother
you
because
did.
I didn't get
But
it.
we're not here to take
I
more of
watched.
that. Well, I think my look may have conveyed the information. People say I have an expressive face. But if not, let me repeat your question.
like,
Why do we need
I
two
didn't get it
doctors?
either.
Answer. We have a lady that makes cardamom gelato. Should you not? Oh, I almost forgot to set that down.
I simultaneously love and hate Simon.
Fair is fair.
I'll be honest, Sasha, you leave my doctor.
Gregory?
Got it. Okay.
Oh. What do you know? Gregory attempted very feebly to grow At least one nut. Don't do anything stupid, Daryl. Don't do anything stupid, Daryl.
So I rolled with it. I didn't even notice. I was picking up everything they knew how to do and doing it better.
That's my girl.
Then I'd outgrow them and bounce.
Love him and leave him, Rosita. Kind of like
Sex
it.
is just for when the world's over. Everyone should be getting their rocks off.
Right? You'd think there'd be way more lovemaking at the end of the world, man.
Is that how it was with
Take
you?
notes, TWD.
I thought I hated you. Maybe I just hated that he figured out his shit first.
Truth. Truth finally coming out.
I'm
Now
not
we can
the
stop
one
this
doing
petty
any of this stuff.
nonsense.
Stupid to waste so much time.
Mm-hmm. This is stupid too, what you're doing. Why don't you guys leave?
I never did tell Abraham I'm happy he was happy.
Finally. This is all she needed to do to get all this nonsense that she's doing out of her system.
Abraham would have wanted to go out fighting. And that asshole with the bag took that away too.
He did get to let
To
his
go
last
out with
words
a
be
point,
suck my
to
nuts
go
though.
out.
It's pretty badass.
I got your back.
Oh.
Got yours.
Ovaries over testes. Go girls.
You think that prick's out there yet?
But go home though. Take the shot. Come on, sharpshooter. You're so good. Oh, line of sight blocked. How convenient that absolutely everybody is right in his line of sight.
Engineer speaking. I'm gonna need
You let them take Dr. Carson.
Right?
Surprised you didn't kneel again. You must be really worried if you're trying to split everyone up.
Good boy, Jesus. He just sees right through you as
Talking
usual,
like
Greg.
that, who knows what might happen with all these saviors coming around?
Did you just threaten me?
Oh, hell no, you didn't.
Being sarcastic, okay.
No, I think you just threatened me.
Come in.
Okay.
Ah,
It's official time to kill Gregory.
Crack that open.
He's gotta
for me,
go.
Would you?
Like Richard, this guy is gonna be a problem.
Show me how you can.
Ooh. You do not want to make an enemy of Jesus. And that's just advice for life.
Handle done.
Well,
Get up.
he's not going with you. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going with you.
Even Eugene knows this is a dumb plan. Run while you can.
What the hell are you doing? Go. It's not your time. There's gotta be a point to it, right? They need you.
Bye, Sasha. Take out as many as you can, girl. Second time things did not work out the way you thought they would, right, Rosita? When are you gonna learn, girl? God, I hope you learned something from this. Daryl! Really? The stupid keeps rising! Oh my gosh, okay, well that, Okay, so that was season 7, episode 14 of The Walking Dead. The other side. This episode was frustrating. Well, I guess I kind of knew it would be as soon as I saw that this was going to be the Sasha and Rosita go to do something really, really not well thought out and silly episode. So, the last video where, you know, I discussed Rosita and Sasha, I talked about the fact that Sonequa Martin Green she's recently gotten herself a lead role in an upcoming Star Trek show. So I had my predictions about what was potentially going to happen. It's still sad to see though. So this really was Sasha's swan song episode, really. The Walking Dead's been pretty good about that, in that they're characters that have been around for a while. They always get, you know, they usually do a really good job of allowing them to have an episode where they get to talk more about themselves, and we get to appreciate them and what they've contributed to the show thus far. before they, they have their farewell. And that was kind of the whole thing with Sasha. It was a lot of long shots on Sasha this episode, a lot of her clearly struggling with this decision that she was making to go in to this one-way ticket to Negan and most likely death. And we just got to kind of appreciate what she kind of meant to the group so far. I mean, she kept acting as though there was nothing left for her, even though there clearly was. We saw her training the people at Hilltop. She has this knowledge she could definitely impart to people, but I think in Sasha's mind, she feels like she's not really got anything to offer anymore, and not really offer, so I should say I feel like Sasha does not think that she has any tethers left to this world that mean anything. Sasha's had a really rough time in terms of her losses in a very short span. In Showtime, not in real time, but in Showtime, in the span of about a year, Sasha's lost her brother, she lost all the people she was traveling with originally, and then she lost Bob, and then she finally allows herself to open up again with Abraham, and she loses him within weeks of that happening. So it's just been basically every time she's reached out to try to care about somebody, it's been taken away from her almost immediately after. So I think she kind of felt like she was floating, like there was nothing to really keep her tied to anyone directly in this world anymore. And what was worse was that I think she was afraid that if she allowed herself to do it again, the same thing would happen again. So it's sad, but that look she had on her face was very defeated for most of this episode. Like she was just to the point where she was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go out in a blaze of glory because I don't want to continue this way. I'm tired of living this way. And it's very sad because Sasha's an awesome character. She's very undeveloped, unfortunately. I think we can all kind of agree that in the space of, this, I mean, it's a massive cast. It's kind of impossible to really ever fully develop anyone in this show other than Rick. But, in this massive cast, she really hasn't had a whole lot of development in the 3 seasons that she's been on, 3.5 seasons. And I don't really see that improving or seeing a lot of room for that improving going forward. So, I mean, it's sad because I like her character. I think she's great. I mean, God knows the group needs a sharpshooter. I mean, Michonne's getting good, but it still would have been nice to see Sasha stick around and continue to be a badass like we saw. I mean, this episode, if anything, showed me just how badass Sasha and Rosita are. They're such amazing assets, not just, of course, for their fighting skills, but their dynamic to the group is really important as well. And the fact that they both have just kind of gotten to this place where they're like, there's nothing worth fighting or living for anymore was just sad. I mean, almost everyone else who's left has someone that they're kind of really tied to or have a really specific reason to fight for, and Rosita and Sasha both, I think, in this episode showed that they don't feel that they have that anymore. And you need to know why you're fighting for something in this world. It's so important to know why. You need to have your reason for fighting. You have to have your reason for why it's worth it to keep doing everything they're doing. And both Sasha and Rosita, I think, have lost sight of that. They don't feel like there is anything worth fighting to that extent for anymore. So they would rather just go and do as much damage as they can before they finally get put out, so basically, or extinguished. So, I mean, it's sad. We know this is not going to end well for Sasha in any way. She's a great shooter, but she's going to run out of bullets at some point. There was only so many that they got from Jesus and from what Rosita was able to scavenge. So, I'm just hoping that it's not long and painful. That's my big thing. I really hope that they don't. And the thing is, we don't know. I mean, obviously we don't know. Negan's MO is never to really kill the person that is responsible, but I don't want her to be captured. I don't want her to have to go through what Daryl went through and worse. I mean, Negan being the pig that he is, he's probably going to try to suggest that Sasha become a wife or something weird. I just hope it's quick, is all I'm hoping, is whatever happens, that it's quick and that Sasha doesn't have to suffer. As far as Rosita, I'm hoping that this is something that she'll finally start to get it through her stubborn head that she can't keep going at it like this. She keeps thinking it's going to work out this way and it's not. This is the second time now she's gone on a kamikaze half-ass mission and it hasn't worked out the way she thought. She needs to understand it just isn't going to work that way, to stop and breathe and think about it for once. And not just think it's going to end with just her dying, because it's just never going to work out that way. With Daryl being there now, I'm fairly certain that was him. I think that was the crossbow we saw in the background there. It could have been Dwight, but I think it's Daryl. But I'm hoping that, because Daryl's an idiot right now too, I need the idiots to stop congregating. I need the idiots to stop finding each other in this show, please. Please, just stop. We've had enough. But if it is Daryl, I'm hoping that he will be smart enough. I'm hoping that he'll be the person to stop and shake Rosita and be like, look, I've been here. I see what they've got going on here. If you think you're going to be able to one-man crew this, or even with me, it's not going to happen. You'll never get close enough to him. You will never get to where you want. It's just going to cause more problems. And we just don't need this. We don't need this. I'm just hoping Daryl will convince her to come back to the hilltop and just keep her mouth shut. Or better yet, actually head back to Alexandria and warn Rick and company that she messed up again. And they need to be prepared for the fact that Negan's going to be showing up really angry. Yeah, overall, obviously this episode was a swan song. It was a goodbye to Sasha. I am going to miss her character a lot. But, you know, I understand why she's leaving. And I'm hoping this is a wake-up call for Rosita to finally know that she has to stop this kamikaze behavior. And then finally, just a quick note, of course, with Gregory, we're going to have to keep an eye on him going forward. He's clearly in the mode of wanting to... He's worried. He's worried he's going to lose his little precious position, and he's worried about Sasha, or worried about the influence Maggie is having. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for him, but I'm hoping that Maggie will catch on to him, or Jesus is going to keep an extra eye on him going forward so he can't do anything stupid. But all in all, guys, it was still an interesting episode. This is the first one I feel like was kind of filler, but because I love Sasha, I'm okay with the fact that they took this time to give her character some honor. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a good episode? Do you feel like it could have been maybe condensed down to half an episode with maybe a little bit more action? Let me know in the comments. You know I love reading them. And if you like this video, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, go ahead and click subscribe. Until next time, guys. See ya.